Welcome to the Manslaughter Golf Club kitchen. Chef Mo is back again. I've had a lot of questions from people about what kind of equipment I have in my own toolbox. What kind of knives do I buy? What kind of knives do I use? Also, how to sharpen a knife. So today we're going to see what's in my toolbox, kind of like what Chris did the other day, and also how to sharpen certain different kinds of knives. So as you can see, I have a pretty big toolbox, and I have a lot of different tools for different items. So we have some pop-up measuring cups, foldable spoons, microplane, fish tweezers, various sauce spoons, small and large. Got a small, they call it petty knife. Doing small vegetable work and small herbs. A serrated paring knife, great tool, can use, very versatile. Plating tweezers. A trussing needle to tie turkeys or even meat. Offset fish spatula, really good to use. You can use either way. Clam knife. Oyster knife. A small offset spatula for pastry. Chef's carving fork or a turning fork. Wooden spoon for risotto and also stirring, making pastry items. Extra knife cover. A cleaning stone for my knives, since they are carbon steel. This shines them back up again, takes the tarnish off. A nice peeler. He calls it tomato shark, take the cores out. Then, inside the toolbox, a fine cut steel bench scraper, Japanese mandolin and the pieces that go with it, a gnocchi or cavatelli maker. This is a truffle shaver, very sharp, like cut very fine. Small tongs, large tongs. So we got knives now. I like to use Japanese knives for a lot of my cutting. So this is a 9-inch chef knife. And these covers are actually made out of balsa, so they actually absorb any kind of moisture so they don't rust. A 12-inch slicing knife. Another steel. This is a diamond cut steel, which is for sharpening a regular blade. It's got a little more edge to it. Another small chef knife. This is a plating kit, all the little tools in it. We take this when we do wine dinners or fine items like hors d'oeuvres. We try to keep everything nice in its bag. This is a 60-year-old butcher's knife that I got from my brother, made out of carbon steel. This is the scimitar, so this would be for boning meat. This one here is for actually slicing the meat. Japanese, they call it a chicken knife, which is for butchering of meat and also fish. This is good for doing tuna. A salmon slicer, you can see it's very flexible. A meat slicer for slicing large roasts. A bread knife for cutting bread, cutting focaccia, anything really long. Also, you can use that for cutting meats and roasts as well. I have a French style knife. This is actually my knife from culinary school, over 20 years old. Almost there. Japanese sushi knife. Small Volkswagen coming out next. I have a ring mold. And then another small boning knife. So these are all the tools I keep in my toolbox, and they're used for different cutting and different kind of meats, fish, chicken, turkeys, whatever you might be cutting, large pieces, small pieces, fine knife work. So a lot of different knives. So next thing we're going to do is how to sharpen a knife. So I have two different kinds of knives we're going to sharpen today. We're going to sharpen a Japanese-made gyuto, which is a chef knife. And then we're going to also sharpen a butcher-style scimitar. They are both carbon steel, but two different kinds of steels. Tempering processes. So we're going to use the oil stone for the American knife, and we're going to use the water stone for the Japanese style knife. So I'm going to start with the oil stone first. I don't want actually the water stone first. I don't want to contaminate the water stone oil in my hands. So you're going to take the knife. The stone's been soaking in the water for a good 15 minutes. Take it out of the water. We're going to actually wet the towel a little bit so we make a little, so it sticks to the table. Then we'll place the stone. Now there's two different sizes. There's 1,000 grit and 6,000 grit. So our 1,000 grits we're going to use to sharpen, and the 6,000 grits we're going to use to polish the edge. We're going to keep the water close by so we can have it dribble onto, we can drizzle on the stone. So this one is a 70-30, so there's a 30% edge on this side and 70% edge on this side. There's knives, most knives are 50-50. Japanese knives are either 70-30, 50-50, 70-30, 90-10, and then they have like a 0 or 100, kind of like a sashimi knife. So I'm going to do is start on this side here, and you're going to use the knife, you're going to keep it almost flat, and you're going to pull backwards. I'm going up and back, but when I'm going back, I'm actually applying pressure. And as you go, you do a few inches at a time, and you're slowly going back and forth with the pressure being on the back edge. And you can see it's not much degree of angle. And as you can see also, it's starting to make what they call a slurry on it. It's changed, the stone's actually starting to change color to the color of the metal. Between the metal and the abrasiveness of the stone is how you're going to actually sharpen the knife. So this side is actually done now. Now we'll go to the other side, we'll start again. This side we're going to add a little different pitch, about 22.5 degrees. We'll start with the tip. And as we move down, we're going to be moving our fingers until we get to the back edge. We'll go one more time from front to back. Now we're going to develop a burr on this side here. You'll feel a different part of the edge. So we're going to take it and just do one pass just to make this edge nice and neat. And you'll feel the burr's gone now. We're going to take the stone, dip it in water again. We'll start with the 6,000 grit in order to get a nice polish. So we'll start with the 30 side first. As you can see, it's starting to make a slurry again. We'll flip to the other side. We'll do one small pass on the 30 side to get rid of the burr, one more time on the 70. We'll give it a drying. Remove all the excess water and excess metal. We use a polishing steel. As you can see, the steel is not it's very, very fine cut, so it actually polishes the blade. We'll do 3 on one side and 5 on the other. And that should be nice and sharp. You can actually hear it. And we'll do a paper test. You should be able to shave paper. As you can see, you're just shaving the paper down to little tiny pieces, as small as you want or as big as you want. This knife is very sharp. Carbon steel knife. So this one here has 3 different size stones. You have a coarse, we have the medium, then we have the fine. So we're going to start with the medium. The knife is not that dull, but just enough to where it needs to get a sharpening. Use a towel here, we'll just rub some of the excess oil off. This has got a lot of oil on it, we need so much. And this knife we're going to sharpen a little differently. Going to go from one end to the other. Again, about 22.5 degrees. And you're almost like doing a twist with your body. And you want to do equal sides. So right now, this is number 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll go the other direction. Now, as if it needs oil, you'll just turn it over, get a little more oil on. There's a reservoir in the bottom. Then we're going to do a little bit on the tip, just the tip to get it nice and sharp. This is a butcher knife. You want to be able to get it between bones or really good slicing. Take a towel, remove some of the oil and the grit. As you can see, some of the stones that come off, and also some of the knife itself. We're going to go to the fine blade now. Wipe off a little bit of the excess oil off the sides, and a little bit off the plate, the stone itself. And again, we'll do 10. We're trying to keep the blade about 22.5 degrees. Now, if you don't have one of these at home this big, they do sell, go on Amazon, they sell stones different sizes. They sell the wet stones, and they sell the dry stones. They even sell the oil that comes with them. Usually use like a mineral oil, or they have a actual stone oil. And you can sharpen your knives at home as well. The steel doesn't really sharpen your knife. It just takes the edge and brings the edge back to center. So now the blade is nice and clean. Removing all the oil. You can see the edge has actually been polished up. And this one we're going to do equal sides, 5 on each side. We're going to go with the paper test on the butcher's knife. There it goes, right through and all the way in. And we have a nice sharp knife. Thank you and have a great day.